Hello again. Let's make our very first bookmark. For that, you need this picture on your paper. It's a very simple composition, but you're free to change it also. And I have uploaded the sketch in the resources. You can get it from there, or you can pause the video and copy it from here. And when you're ready, start with a wet on dry. So here I have taken bright yellow in my flat brush. You're free to use a round brush also. And I'm giving an even coat of yellow to my bottom pumpkin. Now you can start from the top pumpkin if you want to. I'm keeping the wash very flat because we are not going to paint a realistic pumpkin. We are going to paint a more illustrative type pumpkin. There, we're done with the first wash. Now let's go for a wet on wet. So before the first layer dries, we quickly take some orange, which in my case is Sennelier red, in our brush, and again check the amount of water in your brush, not too much or not too less. That's how it should be. And as you see, I'm holding the brush close to the tip of the brush and I'm using the belly of the brush. I have changed the brush to a round one, if you noticed. And with that, I'm going over the wet layer of yellow. It's letting the orange pigments to blend with the yellow, and the yellow is working as an undertone. And also I am not this time painting the pumpkin completely with orange. I am leaving gaps between the two parts of the pumpkin so that yellow shows from underneath. And here in this part I have given a rather light tone of orange. So I'm controlling the amount of pigment and water in the brush. So if one layer I'm keeping darker, so one layer I'm keeping a little lighter, so I'm trying to give some shadows and some highlights to the pumpkin to give it dimension so that it doesn't become just a blob of orange with yellow streaks. It also appear to be a round structure. So for that I have kept one part of the pumpkin lighter in comparison to the others, and if you have covered the entire pumpkin in one tone, you can still lift the color from some parts using a damp clean brush as we had practiced in the basics. So there, our second layer is also done. Now let's take some brown and add some shadows in the darker areas. So this again is wet on wet. I am dropping in some brown in the grooves and the dents on the surface, like that. Again, I am holding the brush very close to the tip so that I have better control, and I am using the tip of the brush this time, not the entire belly of the brush, to draw lines along the grooves of the pumpkin, like that. And now let's blend it with a damp but clean brush. So for that I will just go on the edges and blend the colors like so. This is the technique we will follow all along the pumpkin and on all the pumpkins. Alright, so let's do that. This I know is going to be very repetitive, but that's how it will allow you to practice the basics even more. And what a nice idea to practice, that by practicing you are also making a beautiful bookmark for yourself. I know Halloween is gone, but still we can still make some Halloween themed artwork even when the Halloween has gone, can't we? So there, we are almost completing this wash of the pumpkin like that. Now do you see the dimensions added? Now does it look a little 3D and not very flat? Like that. That's it. Don't overwork it at this stage. Now let's wash the brush and dab it dry, and with that brush let's blend the edges over the highlights we have left. So I'm just going with my damp clean brush over the yellow streaks we have left, and it's blending it all together so that it doesn't look artificial. It looks more organic and natural, just like that. As you see, I'm dipping my brush in water again and again and dabbing it dry like that. And with that damp and clean brush, I'm going over the yellow streaks we have left so far so that it doesn't look artificial, so that all the hard edges are blended like that. Let's add some shadows or darkness to the pumpkin at this stage. So I'm using a very thin layer of the same brown, and I'm using the very tip of my brush so that I get a very thin line. As you see, I'm holding it very close to the tip for better control, and I am giving a thin line of brown alongside the yellow streaks we've left. We have to be mindful of not covering the entire pumpkin in brown. That will completely ruin the hard work we've done so far. And we have to be mindful of not overworking the piece. I keep telling myself all the time, and still I keep overworking my piece sometimes. So be mindful of that. Don't overwork it. Don't cover it in brown completely. Just add few streaks of brown wherever needed, wherever you think it's needed. And if your pumpkin has dried completely, don't do this. Don't go for adding the shadows at this moment. We will still do it later. Do it only if your pumpkin is still wet. Alright, because this step has to go wet on wet. With that said, we are done with this pumpkin, and now we have to color all 3 pumpkins in the same way. So I'm taking a time lapse. Here's the yellow wash, and on this wet yellow wash I am going for an orange wash like that. You can pause the video and color your pumpkin. uh, I know, but if I keep it like real time, it will be a very very long video. I won't be able to upload it in one go. So I will have to break it in pieces, like pumpkin by pumpkin. So that is why I've taken this time lapse, but you can always pause the video and finish coloring your pumpkin, and then you can unpause it again. All right, the steps are exactly the same that I showed you in the first pumpkin, in detail and in absolute real time. The same thing I'm following for this pumpkin here. I have kept the middle pumpkin for the last, because that's the jack-o'-lantern. So that is the main focus of this illustration. So I have kept it for the last. Now here the bottom pumpkin has dried, and I am giving some more shadows to it. So here I'm using very dark brown. I have mixed a little gray in the brown, and with that I am going over this pumpkin and giving it some lines and streaks of dark brown to add some texture and to add some shadows and make it look more realistic and more natural. Realistic in illustrative way, not very realistic watercolor realistic. Alright, so here as you see, this is what I had mentioned when I said don't work on it if it's dried. So we will still add the shadows in a later part. So this is the later part, when it's completely dried, like crisp dried. When it's partly dried, partly wet, so it's neither wet nor dry, then it's very difficult to add shadows or do anything. Then it leaves patches of hard edges, you know. But when it's wet completely, then we can do work on it, and when it's dried completely, then we can work on it. Both the techniques give different effects, but yeah, if we couldn't work when it was wet, we can add our details when it's completely dried. It will give a wet on dry effect, but that's also good. It's better than ruining the art piece by working when it's neither dry nor wet. Alright, I hope that makes sense to you. I tried to explain, but I just hope you understood. So here as you see, it's like using marker or a fine liner and adding details. Just like that, I am, instead of the marker, using the brush and adding the details in the same way. So there are some lines in dark brown, almost blackish brown, and I'm adding them to depict the curvature and roundedness of the pumpkin. Now I'll do the same thing to the top pumpkin also, and again I've taken a time lapse because it's the same thing I'm doing here. You can always pause the video and finish your pumpkin, and then you can unpause the video. There, like that. And now finally we move on to the center of attraction, the main subject of this bookmark, the jack-o'-lantern. The first step is the same. We are going to cover it in a thin layer of yellow as before, just like that. And now starts the different technique. So here I am putting the orange all over the pumpkin. I'm not leaving the streaks, yellow streaks in the middle, and what I'm leaving is the features of the jack-o'-lantern that I have sketched. So I'm leaving the eyes and nose and mouth area yellow, and as you see, by mistake I dropped some extra color, and what I did, I quickly washed and dried my brush, and with that I lifted that pigment, and I'm using that same pigment all over the pumpkin. So I spread it quickly. That's how we correct the accidents. So now I'm leaving this pumpkin to dry, and meanwhile I'm working on the foliage like that. So it's just the pre-mixed darker green I've got in the set. You can also mix some brown in any green you have and achieve this color, or you can use whatever color you like whatever green you like, lighter green or darker green as per your choice. And with that I am painting all the green parts in this bookmark, so the leaves and the tendrils, everything, right? And there, done with the foliage. Now let's move on to our jack-o'-lantern, and here I have taken a dark brown, very little amount of color and water in the brush, and with that I am outlining the features of the jack-o'-lantern like that. And now I am adding some shadows. So I did not leave the yellow streaks in this one because I wanted the grooves to be darker and not lighter, because I wanted all the light to come from the carvings in the pumpkin, and that's why I wanted rest of all the areas to be dark, and that's why I did not leave the yellow streaks for the grooves of the pumpkin. Alright, so here it's the same step now, adding the dark lines in the pumpkin the way we added them in the other two pumpkins, like so. Dropping in some shadows like that. Now this is really dark. It's the gray color I have taken, and with that I am going over the features, the carvings of the pumpkin. And as you see, the moment I added this dark gray, the light became more bright. And whenever you think that you've added a lot of color, you can just lift it off using a damp clean brush like that. So this groove here looks like a scar to me, so I'll be either matching the other grooves with that, or I'll lifting the color up from there. There. Now let this dry at this stage, and what is left is the detailing. So I'm using a fine liner marker for this, and by the time the pumpkins dry, I am adding some details on the foliage in the background. And now let's splatter. So I first splattered with some orange and then some yellow and then some black, and I don't mind the white splatters falling on top of the pumpkins also. I just have to look for the splatters on the carvings of the jack-o'-lantern, and if by mistake a drop falls on the jack-o'-lantern's eyes or nose or mouth, I just lift it up quickly with the tissue. So that way I prevent it from ruining the face of the jack-o'-lantern. And here I have added some details with white, also with white jelly roll, as you see. And now the final details, where I give a dark orange layer on the eyes and the other features. So I'm not covering the entire yellow with orange. I'm just adding some lines here and there of orange so that it feels like a flame, so that it looks like the fire inside, and it doesn't look very flat. All right, there, as you see. And final touches of black here and there wherever needed. It's completely optional. If you feel like adding more details, you can do that. If you don't feel like adding, you can stop at this point. We are almost done. With this first bookmark. I'm adding some black on the stem of the pumpkin also, on the jack-o'-lantern also, like that. But this step is completely optional. I mean, you can tell looking at your bookmark that you're done when you're done, and you don't have to follow exactly the steps I'm doing here. So it's up to you. It's your artwork, it's your bookmark. You are the creator of that, so you can very well decide when you're done, or how much detail you want. All right, little bit of more definition to the pumpkins here. I feel like giving some broken lines to the grooves and to the outlining of the pumpkin, like that. And yes, it's working well. The pumpkins really pop out when I'm adding this dark gray along the grooves and along the outline, as you see here. So I think it's a good idea to add the definition and outline your pumpkin with some dark gray. But if you don't like it, you can leave this step completely. Up to you. And yes, now it's done, finally, completely. So we are done with our first bookmark, and this one was a little tough. Next one is going to be really easy. So yeah, trust me, it's going to be very, very easy. So I'll see you in the next lesson.